Hi guys, welcome to In This Season, where we're all about growing
and glowing
in each season. My name is Priscilla. You can find me on Instagram, TikTok, and this YouTube.
My name is Zerida, and I go by Epicurious Diaries on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube.
And this beautiful set and this beautiful, graphics and everything is brought to you by Zoom Media Hub. So thank you so much for the partnership. We don't take it for granted.
You're watching In This Season.
Okay, so today, of course, you guys by now know you're tired of us telling you, so we are married. Yes,
Let's do it one more time. Ta-da!
Ta-da! Anyway, so the topic today, Zerida, is just talking about the reality, the expectations versus the reality. So you got married, but just as you and I know, there's a lot. I think marriage is one of the topics that has the most videos on this YouTube everywhere. Like everyone talks about it a lot. So there's the expectations and there's the reality. So talk to us about what did you expect or what did you hear people say versus what you've experienced and what, that just like, was it different? Was it the same? Is it what you expected? Just talk to us.
Yeah. What did I expect? First of all, I've done this before.
Yeah.
So I think that a lot of the expectations that one would have when they're newly married, I didn't have many of those. I did, though, expect that it was going to be a lot easier this time around because, age, experience.
Yeah.
So my husband and I did not live together before we got married. We started living together when we came back from honeymoon.
Yeah.
However, we had spent, I think the longest we had spent together was like a month. We spent a lot of time, playing house.
Yeah.
I spent all my weekends there from, quite early in our relationship. Our entire relationship, we spent weekends together. When I was off work, which is like 3 times a year, I spent the entire duration with him. And so I expected that because of how much time we had spent playing house, I was shocked that we still had quite a lot of adjusting to do living together. That came as a shock to me.
Yeah.
I didn't expect it at all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what would you say was your hardest adjustment? Because some people will say, oh, maybe sleep, sharing the bed, sharing this, like the sink, the toilet, whoever sits up is down, whatever. So for you, what was one of those things that was a little bit hard to adjust to?
So many things. First of all, I'm a very individualistic person. Nemala. You get, I am self-reliant. I am so many things in that sense. Also, I have spent a lot of time alone. I was living alone. I am freakishly neat.
Yeah. Which literally surprised me, like how borderline, you are.
I am freakishly neat. I like things a certain way and I'm extremely precise with a lot of things.
Yeah.
So lift the cup, put it back where you found it.
That's it.
In the same spot. It makes because I have that struggle with my maid also. Everything is perfectly placed. Why would you pick it up and put it back like this? It doesn't make any sense. Do you not see? Like, I'm close to marking everything with
the ruler,
with like tape, so that it must touch this line.
Yeah.
But there's a part of me, I'm a Montessorian. Montessorians are extremely precise. It's a part of your training. It's a part of, but for me already, it's just like my personality. So one of the most difficult things for me has been sharing space.
Yeah.
Sharing space. I recognize that I live very differently from most people. I'm aware of that. And so, that has been challenging.
Yeah.
Just living, sharing space has been difficult. Although, like, my husband is extremely accommodating, bless him.
Oh, wow.
He is. So even I would not have an easy time living with myself.
Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah.
I get it. So it's not that it's unique to him. It's just,
Oh, Bambi.
And another thing that I struggled with as well is sharing the bed.
Mm.
Again, because I have lived alone, I've been sleeping in my own bed alone since I was like 25.
Yeah.
Almost 8 years.
Yeah.
So I am used to, so I struggle with sleep. I have bouts of insomnia here and there. So sleep is something that is so precious to me because it's also something that I work hard for.
Exactly.
So when I sleep, the entire space must accommodate my sleep. So I don't want to hear a single sound. I don't want to see a single light and movement.
Lord.
So the first couple of
your husband
months,
who's a workaholic.
yeah, I wouldn't sleep. I'm a light sleeper. I think also just not being aware. I'm also more safety conscious than most people.
Yeah.
I'm extremely safety conscious.
Yeah.
And so the movement, I remember this one time, I think we had been living together, maybe it's the first week. No, the second week, because I started work after we came back from honeymoon, spent 1 week at home, then the next week I started work. So it must have been like Wednesday. He was working late. So he came into the bedroom and then he switched on the light because remember also he has been living alone.
Yeah.
And my eyes shot up. I just sat up in the bed and I said, okay, let's look at each other. Since I can't sleep, let's all look. And he was so tired and he's just so sweet and adorable. But in that moment, I was just thinking, since we woken me up, let's all look at each other. Yeah, since let's all not get sleep. I was so mad. And I think he just looked at me like, I just switched on the light, He just, like, the magnitude of my reaction versus
what he had
shown. And
done.
he's trying to explain to someone who has easy sleep.
Yeah,
you'll be talking to him. He'll be laughing 1 second and out cold before the second is done.
Yeah. And then comes you who has
comes me. He didn't get it. And so some of these things were such a shock to him because what is this?
Yeah.
Just close your eyes and sleep. And I'm like, I don't know how I could explain to him that I'll close my eyes for 3 hours, friends, and I'll still be awake.
Yeah.
In the dark, nothing moving, and I'll still be awake.
Oh.
So I didn't get sleep. I've only just started sleeping. I think because my nervous system and stuff, my internal system is used to another person being around. So even now when he comes into the room when he's done working, I don't even hear him.
Yeah. Because now you're used to it.
Yeah. Also the cuddles, because they would wake me up. I'm used to no movement. No sound, no movement. So the cuddles would wake me up. Loved them.
Yeah.
But also I wasn't sleeping.
Yeah.
So because of that, I was also extremely irritable.
Yeah.
So much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I think those are the things that shocked me the most. Because I didn't know this about myself. I didn't know I can't sleep with another person that I love sleeping with.
Yeah, exactly.
I didn't know it would be difficult to adjust to that.
Yeah.
Now that we've found I sleep blackout.
Yeah, there's no politics of sleep is real.
But I didn't know that.
Yeah. No,
so it was a shock. Also, we had been sleeping, before.
Yeah.
But this was just completely new.
Different. Yeah, I get it.
Shocking.
The politics of sleep is a real thing. On my side, I don't know. You were talking and I was thinking, what could I say has been a great adjustment for me? But also because I've lived with people, like I've always had lots of housemates, so I think I have over the years, I wouldn't say I'm easy to live with, but I've over the years learned how to live with people.
Yeah.
So I was thinking, what could I say has been our greatest adjustment, like difficult? Maybe I could say my husband likes.
Like what was a shock?
A shock. Maybe
Okay,
he likes to play.
likes
He likes to play games on his phone. Like it's his thought as he's thinking. Like his critical thinking moment is. So I like in my head when talking to him, he's like, but he's like thinking as. So maybe I'm like, you're not listening to me. He's like, but I'm actually listening to you, and he'll repeat everything I've said to him word for word, and for a solution. So I wouldn't say it was a shock. It was a different way of thinking because me when I'm thinking, I'm like sitting. I want to look you in the eye. As you can see, I struggle looking in the camera because I'm always like, So, and him is like, he's looking at you, and he's like, okay, I think we could do this, and this, and just, Yeah, and I'm like, are you even listening?
It might be a way to focus because I focus as well when I'm
Yes.
playing a game.
Yeah.
If you're going to tell me a long story, I'll put on Candy Crush
Yeah.
and then I can listen.
Interesting.
If I don't do that, please
Yeah.
note I had the first 2 sentences
Okay.
and tapped out.
I guess,
Everything else you're
but
talking
now
to
I'm
a
okay
tree.
with it. I just, I maybe also watching videos on loud. When we had just started, it was a thing of we both have this thing of when we don't have a clear boundary on phones, but he can be on my phone, he can be on his phone, I can be on my phone. Once I put down my phone, he'll put down his phone. But when I'm watching my videos aren't as loud. I'm like, babe, why is your video loud? Like, turn down.
We have that
phone,
struggle
you.
too because I will not play a video out loud when there are people around.
Yeah,
Never. Never.
But then he's listening to like a commentary and blah, blah, and I'm
Very
like,
loud.
watching, but he's also now learned how the fact that I don't like it. So what I would do in the beginning, I would get his earphone and pass him his heads. I'm like, then he would look at me and laugh. He's like, oh, okay, I get the cue.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think as you get to live together, you learn how to navigate that space. And in terms of how is it in terms of like diet, because most people complain about food, different eating styles, different cooking. For us, I love chicken. My husband doesn't like chicken. So I remember when I started cooking, I cooked chicken the first week when I was around, back to back, grilled, soup, boiled. I was about to cook chicken.
I've just noticed.
And then one day, poor guy comes, and then he finds chicken again. He goes like, you know what, babe? That was my cue of, you know what? We have eaten chicken because I love chicken. So it's, I think, so some of those things, like you tend to have your preferences and may not necessarily be your partner's preferences. Yeah.
One of the things that with regard to our nutrition has been breakfast. For me, thinking about breakfast is just one of those things. It's not something that I do in my life. I do not think about breakfast, and when I must have it, eggs, sausages is good. I can eat that. I've eaten that since I was a child every single day, and it will still be good for me. Him, on the other hand, variety. You can't give him the same thing twice in a row. He's just like a super creative.
But also because he has to cook.
Exactly. In every element of his life. And it won't be like, let's say, egg and sausage. It won't do. There'll be like avocado. There'll be like some roast potatoes. He's just like, and our energy levels in the morning are just like completely different. For me, my day starts at midday. Before that, I am a vegetable, defunct, just
surviving on coffee.
Yeah, surviving on coffee. Even coffee is just because I need to wake up.
Yeah.
But, and so that, I'm just like, but an egg is good enough. Why can't we just have eggs and remove this process of thinking in the morning?
Yeah.
Why must I think about today, tomorrow, the other day? And it was just like... My food style is very boring.
So how have you found how have you come to a middle ground? Because you of course, because love, one of the love languages is like food is a really a big love. It's a huge connector for most people in relationships. So how have you found a middle ground?
Yeah, well, basically, like I said, my whole food situation. Whatever is just boring. Plain, I eat for nutrition. It's just one of those things. I just eat for nutrition, and my person's food choices are just colorful. It's his love language. Even when he cooks, like when I cook and when he cooks, it's just completely different. And I think that because of that, I'm finding my inner cooking.
That's why you're getting your mojo back
again, because of how much joy
he has
to him. However, we do have differences in our flavor, like our palates. I love oregano. It is like the best thing that has ever happened to the kitchen. He loves paprika. That is to him the best thing that has ever happened to the kitchen.
And do you like paprika?
I don't mind. I didn't even know paprika had a taste. It's always been one of those ignorable things. So finding those balances, like one of the ways we've navigated our differences in that way is that in the morning he'll think for me. He'll just share.
Mr. M.
I'll have it made, or like having it prepared and overseeing that is my responsibility. But he'll just let me know.
Yeah.
They'll just be like, what do you want to eat today?
Oh, that's really
what should
nice.
we eat
That's so
today?
cool.
And then he gets so tired of me eating the same breakfast, so he'll think for me. And I can tell you that the days he thinks for me are the best days of my life.
Yeah, because you don't like
Yeah.
to think for yourself.
Not
in
at
terms
all.
of
In terms of
breakfast.
food.
Yeah.
And for me, when it's too stressful, I am going to leave it.
Yeah.
There are certain things I'm not like. Life is really stressful. Food is
Mm-hmm.
not going to be added to that journey. So, that has been removed. And then other things is I just have to be mindful and just accommodate
Yes.
him, because for me, if it were up to me, I'd eat grilled chicken and avo. When I lived alone, I ate grilled chicken and avo for 2 years.
You can now
That was
eat
dinner every day.
grilled
And
chicken,
breakfast
pasta,
was egg and
pedillo.
sausages. For 2
I
years,
get
that's
it.
what I
I
ate.
get it. I
You
get
know?
it. Yeah.
And now this accommodation of my husband's colorful plate is
Yeah.
the reason why, you
Yeah.
know, healthy
Yeah.
18 kilos.
Yeah.
I was shocked.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
I also want to touch on, like the fact that how we grow up, like when we get married, we come into our new families with our own experiences from our own family. And we want to not copy, we want to pick some of the cultures and the traditions that we used to have
Yeah.
and bring them into our own
Yeah.
homes. And of course, both of you, all of us, like you and your both of us, we grew up very differently. So how has it been for you trying to pick, a few things that were good in yours, a few things were good in, your partners, and trying to recreate them in your own home?
It's been, when it comes to the home culture,
Yeah.
that he has left that to me
Okay.
completely. So at least we haven't had to pull ropes about that. There are certain things that he likes, that he's fond of, or that he shares, that are, fond memories from his childhood.
Yeah.
Like there's certain foods that, you know how in all of our families, there's food you eat when you're celebrating.
Yes, that's
There's food you eat Sunday morning. There's food you know what I mean?
I get it.
we've
Like Sunday, for me,
incorporated-
Sunday lunch had to have matoke and a beautiful, nice chinyewa and
Yeah.
meat.
Yeah. For us, both of us, Sunday is brunch.
Yeah.
So we do brunch on Sunday. And then there are things like, for me, in our family, Friday evening, you must feel, you walk into the house and know that it's Friday.
Yes, a weekend.
So for us, it will be, let's say, drinks
Yeah.
on
Yeah.
Friday
Yeah.
evening.
Yeah.
There'll
yeah.
be drinks, That's how you know it's Friday.
I
Friday
guess.
evening, everybody's drink orders
Yeah.
are arriving, and it
Yeah.
will go through Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Yeah.
You
yeah.
know, and so incorporating some of those things has been fun, the differences in our different culture. But otherwise, one little thing that I picked from that I loved, it was really special growing up, is we always sat at the table.
Oh, yes.
Dinner
Me too.
table in the evening. For
Yeah.
them, it wasn't a thing.
Yeah.
But for me, it was.
Yeah.
And it's one of my most special memories of growing up, because that's when we'd sit and debrief, talk about our day.
Yeah.
That's when we'd hear everything going on with
Yeah.
everyone, and
Yeah.
it was compulsory. You would not eat from anywhere except the table. You couldn't opt out. That was special.
Yeah.
What about you?
Same. I think for us also, we grew up when with the table being such a focal point, that is something that we have chosen to recreate it in our home with our family. Because I feel like I love tableware. So I've made sure that we set the table every day.
Yeah, we set
We set the table every
when
day.
we were growing
Yeah,
up,
so
and we do that now.
And
too.
one thing also, my mom had special dishes and had normal dishes, and I just never understood where we had to eat on non-special plates. So in my home, we use all the plates. There's no plates that is off limits, because I feel like these plates are ours.
Yeah.
Why are we keeping
The
them for
cabinet
guests?
for visitors.
Yes. We had you don't touch, you don't go there. Now, like at home, my kids know we just use it. Like I'll tell them, go and set the table and get whatever it is. So we don't have anything that's off limits. Yeah. Of course, we handle them nicely and we treat them special, but we use our stuff,
Everything,
and
yeah.
we lay our table properly, knife and fork,
Yeah,
napkin,
we
like
do that too.
even maybe in form, but we really try to recreate that. And I feel like for also another thing I really liked at home, I grew up enjoying, was hosting. Like we always had family over, and also my husband comes from a very close knit family, so that is something that we have definitely kept alive. Making sure that everyone comes, our home is not off limits, and even in terms of the way we have decorated the home, when it's things. I am a collector, yeah. My things are precious, true.
Yeah.
But I don't want people to feel like when they come to my home, they have to be on
Walk
eggshells.
on eggshells.
You don't have. No. I know. I know my chairs are very sensitive. I get it. We have a joke, we have some inside joke about the chairs. I get it. But no, honestly, I'm very we try to make sure that people come and feel comfortable.
No, I was actually making a face because I can't relate.
Oh, really?
I'm the one with the glass everywhere and carpet. So
So yeah, no, we really tried to keep some of those things alive. But also, I think another difference between me and my partner is I'm a maximalist in terms of decor. Michael is a minimalist. This is his perfect space. White walls, like furniture should not be too much.
Yeah.
I, on the other hand, can't live in such a space. I need all these. Now this is
Every
perfect.
part
I need
covered.
every part
Yeah.
covered.
Yeah.
Wall there, so we have trying to find a balance.
and somehow you still find space to add new things.
Definitely,
But it's so beautiful, they
every
put
day.
together.
So we are finding a balance has been quite interesting, and I really feel like it's given me the freedom and the privilege to just go with it. Of course, sometimes we're like, I always say okay,
Yeah.
but generally he's just been quite a good sport with it. Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
does it feel like you're tugging at a rope?
No,
this
not
side,
necessarily.
this side?
Of course, things like wallpaper that I want and what is like, I don't know.
Yeah.
It looks old and stuffy, and I'm like, it's beautiful and so yummy and warm. And so for that, so there's things that will say no, and of course I'll feel like, but you also have to respect because it's a shared space, not just your space, So yeah,
I get that.
yeah.
Any shock in the food department?
Not really. Not really. We unlike you. My partner is not like he's okay with food. Because I also love right now. I'm at my age where we don't do processed foods a lot. Twagalanye mmere y'omutaka, the food from the ground because it's healthy. So we eat a lot of our traditional foods.
Cassava.
Yeah, cassava, a lot of lumonde, so we are not really into junk. So our eating style is very similar. Our lifestyle is very similar. We're both into intermittent fasting. Yeah, maybe the only thing is me, I'm a procrastinator, my husband is not. So banangi, I feel all the time I feel being pulled. When I say I don't want to tell him my plans, because for example, this shoot, I told him was supposed to be there at that time. But you are like me, I sometimes just want to be like pola. So I think it's just
I
in
hope
terms
you
of
know that when I don't tell you some of my plans, that is why.
it's because he'll hold you accountable, yeah? So I think it's just in terms of that. But other than that, there's been no great shock because I feared, do you wash underwear? Because they told you boxers, people are like, when are getting married, boxer, boxer,
Gloves in washing machine.
Yeah. So I feel like there haven't been any grave shock,
Yeah.
that has happened that I didn't quite prepare for. Yeah.
Yeah, I get that. Okay. The other question that I wanted to ask you, even though I have
It's okay. I've given you the mic.
it has gone even.
Kale. We're Zerida, better serious. Anyway, so like parting comments.
I remembered my question.
Your question.
Why are you ready for the fact that you are now and will be for as long as you live responsible for the nutrition of other humans all day, every day?
I think because I'm in and out in terms of our living situation, I don't feel the burden. So what I've done is I've empowered my house manager. So even at times when she would come and ask me, what are you going to eat? I ask her, what do you have in your fridge? Yeah, so I always throw it back at her because I feel like I'm here on holiday. I'm a housewife for the interim. When I leave, what you've eaten, what you've done, I'm not going to ask my husband, Wali Deji. No, please. So I've empowered my house manager in that way. So even if I'm not going, I don't want to tell her, fumba. I'll tell her, check in the fridge and hear what you have. So I know the things that my partner likes to eat. He likes steak, he likes what. So we'll do shopping, put them in the fridge, and I've empowered and I've taught her and showed her how to do it now that I'm home. So I don't feel it because I feel like I should. If I'm paying you money to help me with running the home, then I want you to actually do it. Yeah. So no, I don't feel that burden.
Okay. It still shocks me from time to time.
Really,
I'm just like.
But also because you're lucky a control person. I don't think you would hand over the reins. Yes, you wouldn't.
And the thing is, every time that I do, I still find it coming back.
Yeah.
Like I am so particular to the extent that we've shown her how we like our food, how to do different things. But the thing is, if she misses a step, I would taste it in the food and I'll have one bite and I can't eat it anymore. Like, I'm sorry, I was just created like this and it sucks. And it makes my life very hard. It's just when, like, a few weeks ago, she made chapati, right? And I showed her how to make that chapati. Now, she took a shortcut, obviously. So I find that when you use hot water and you put the onions in the hot water, the flavor comes out more. You get. Now, what she did is she put the flour and then put the onions and then just added the water, just like that.
So the flavor.
And when I took a bite of the chapati, I
could
could tell.
Yeah, and then you were like,
she was like, "Is this chick a witch? What's going on?" And I could always tell when she's taking a shortcut because I've spent so long perfecting these recipes to a way that I like, and I didn't eat it. And she found them there. I took one bite and I couldn't eat it. You know, and so sometimes I had to explain. I explain all the time. She still takes the shortcut, still finds her food because I can't eat it. And I explain, do not take the shortcut. I know I'm not here, but I will still know that you know. So getting them to that level, and I find that when you stop checking, just all falls down the drill.
I think for me, that
God
only
rescue me. Maybe there'll be a robot at some point, which I'll just
maybe take her for some cooking classes or something. I don't know. Yeah, but no, for me, I think I'm very good in terms of compartmentalizing and releasing stuff and control. So because I know I can't run my home the way I want because I'm not around. So I'm not going to lose sleep. The only thing I will lose sleep over is my pans and my plates if I come. And recently, one of my favorite stove, casseroles broke. I literally like, why? So those I probably will feel bad because it's money spent. But other than that, I'm like, you know what? It's okay. As long as my partner is happy, he's well fed, he's good.
You need to give me the manual.
Really? Anyway, closing remarks. I closing remarks to a new wife who's feeling the pressure because why we had this episode was to just follow, like, talk about to show you don't have your home runs very different from the way my home runs, and we also based on our characters and individuality. So parting remarks to a new wife who feels the pressure to, because you saw on Instagram someone has a menu on their fridge, they have a to-do list, the nanny has about what they feel like their home isn't being run perfectly. So,
first of all, don't get tired of training. These people also have grown up completely differently from you. Each of us has grown up in a completely different home and they're not in your head. So for somebody to properly understand what you mean, you need to not be tired of repeating it. Get in there, show them what you want, how you want it. And again, don't get tired of repeating. Second would be perfection is a myth.
It's a myth.
Right? Our perfect looks completely different. And actually, it's not even perfect. What looks perfect to you on social media, we all put perfectly curated, highlight reels.
I don't know, we have new phones, smooth food.
Perfectly created highlight reels. You get, when you see that, I've made a whole spread for dinner, you won't know, one, that I didn't even make it. Or if I did, that I sat for 3 hours paralyzed with energy, wondering why the hell I have to do it, So if it's not your thing, get help. Do not romanticize hard work. It is not necessary. You can get help. You can get assistance in this home management thing, especially if it's not necessarily your thing. It won't mean that, you're not woman enough or you're a bad wife just because you've got help. Help is there to help you flourish, to help your home flourish, So don't be shy if you need to get help. Don't feel embarrassed about it. I don't feel like
have as much help as you want.
Yeah. Also, just curate your life and your home in a way that feels true to you and comfortable for both you and your partner.
Yeah, that's true. I think my last parting shot would be, as we talked about, like nutritional needs and all those things. I feel like just be considerate of who you're living with. Like when you've been on your own for a very long time, it's so easy to be like, Like, you know,
And to insist on
yeah,
your
to
way.
insist on your way. Like the number of times I've had to bite my tongue because I'm like, you know what? My husband says I'm very good at pushing. I'm like, yeah, it comes with the training. I'm a lawyer, so I'm trained to negotiate deals. Yeah. However, you try not to over negotiate with your partner. Like if he says this is it, sometimes it's okay, you know. So I feel like have grace towards your partner because it's a shared living space. You may want your African masks everywhere. Speaking to myself, but you know, if that's not what the other person really wants, find a healthy compromise. Yeah. So I think I think that's what I would really say. And honestly, marriage is a really good thing. I know we shouldn't be talking. People will say, you guys are going to come for us.
Become motivational
A few
speakers.
months into marriage.
What do we know?
What do we yeah, now we know. With those of you who are saying to end in tears. And
We know what we know.
Exactly.
Even if you know better, or
You
if you
speak
know
on your
more,
4 months.
good for you. We'll speak for our 4 months. We'll speak for our
Yes,
7
don't
months.
come for
You
us.
talk for your 30.
I know, right? As of hey, what do you wait? When you finish 30 years, you'll be
You
like,
tell us. Temutu tisa tisa.
Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. Like and comment, subscribe, and share this video. Yeah, it was awesome.
See you next week.
Yeah, see you next
I
week.
think.
Bye.
You're watching In This Season.